Welcome to this community update, the first for our Reimagined Term 2. I begin by thanking you all for your patience. I've heard from many families over the last few weeks with some good advice and some encouragement. It's so appreciated. Thank you so much. I also want to say thank you to the students. I've heard from many students, some occasional emails, a few videos, a few songs, a few images from their personal interest projects, and a few little letters. And it's been so good to have that happen. Here we are, day 2, and the students are all streaming back into the school. They're coming in via health check stations, and as you'll see, we're checking each student to make sure that they're fine. All our adults are also going through the same little check. We're giving them some hand sanitizer and encouraging them along the way and welcoming them back, just to make sure that they're practicing good personal safety and hygiene around the community. Of course, we've all been a little bit anxious. We've been watching and waiting for news, but we're very comfortable with the reimagined 2020. We think that we'll gain back an awful lot of the time that has necessarily been lost over these last few weeks. We were delighted with the online learning. We learned so much from that experience, but there is little or no substitute for face-to-face. I was talking to some students yesterday. How did they feel about being back? And almost to a person they said, we just love being back. We love seeing our friends face-to-face. We love seeing our teachers, we love the interaction around the school, and that was very special to see. I also talked to some students about how they felt about the Rosewood Centre. I went to visit a few classes in those new classrooms, the very first time that we've had students entering those rooms. And well, the impact was fantastic. They had smiles on their faces throughout the day for that. Similarly, their staff are enjoying moving into that space. What will be even better when it finally comes is being able to actually open up that car park to help us with some of our traffic issues around the school. Again, in that respect, I say thank you to all of you for your patience in that matter. Now that we're back again, there are a few things that we're really focusing on. The first, of course, is to get back into good routines. Many of us lost some match fitness over the last 5 weeks or so. No matter how hard we might try, there are new routines to be established. The year had begun well, and then it was interrupted for an extended period of time. Now it's time to get back to it again. So we need to get back into what might be loosely called academic match fitness. To that end, our academic program will take the priority for the first 2 weeks. During these 2 weeks, we'll also be watching and waiting for further news about restrictions being lifted. We're hearing suggestions that might occur, but we won't jump the gun. We'll wait patiently while we receive further advice, and then when the time is right, we'll return our co-curricular program. We're generally expecting that will start in our new week 3, 2 weeks from now. For now, we just want to focus on getting each day a really positive learning experience for everybody. Get organised again, get back into the systems, get back into the academic program, focus our minds on the key skills. Now, for our Year 12s in particular, this is very important. We've reworked their assessment program. The teachers are giving a lot more information about what does that mean, and we need to maximise the amount of time now that we've got together. We're also getting ready with a lot of organisational aspects of the school, so you'll gradually see some of those things coming back to life. I've been meeting with the school captains and the student leadership team about how do we make sure that the portion of Term 3 where co-curricular generally is less than we are used to and would like does not mean that we completely stop all programs. So we're working on some systems to actually make that really exciting. In the meantime, we'll be completing the roof of the Rosewood Centre, working on the Aquatic Centre, so that when it's able to be reopened, it'll be in a refurbished state, and then gradually finishing off the Rosewood Centre so that we can move in and enjoy sports on the actual courts themselves. Of course, our ovals are looking as good as they've ever looked. The oversow of the ryegrass has been so successful this year. very benign weather, rained at the right time, cooler weather coming in at the right time, and now we can really enjoy these facilities. Finally, from me, could I just say to all of the community, thank you. Deep thank you. These have not been easy weeks. We've had, at times, confusing and difficult messages to assimilate. There has been systematically bad news across these last weeks. I know the impact that that has on us all, including the staff. I know that these weeks have tested our patience, and I'm enormously encouraged and uplifted by the parent and student community of our school. I also thank our staff. Their dedication is amazing. Their flexibility and ingenuity is equally impressive. They care deeply for our students. Let's, now that we're back together again, make Term 2 really memorable. We always sought to make sure that we were not just surviving these days, just getting through it, that we could look back on this time and give an account with joy for all that we did during this challenge. And we can actually grow because of it. Not be diminished, but actually grow to even stronger and better versions of ourselves. Over the years, Barker has been tested many times. Through the war years, through the depression years, through the journey from Kurrajong down to this space, through periods of great despair and great hope. Our school has always had its character tested, and we like to think that under God's care, we've risen to each of those challenges. And this generation will be no less than the generations of the past. When we think about the legacy that we are setting, when they think back on these days in 100 years' time, as we have now been thinking back to the 1919 epidemic, what will they say about our period of history? Will they reflect on the courage that our students showed, on the deep commitment of our teachers, of the enormous loyalty and regard that our parent community had to our school? All of those things we want to be part of the Barker character, but preeminently, of course, the key word that we keep returning to in our school is hope. Our hope, of course, is not simply built on optimism. It's built on the secure knowledge that we are loved and cared for by our loving God, and we're surrounded by the warm arms of our community. Enjoy Term 2. I look forward to bringing you the next community update in a few weeks' time.